So Henry, tell us a little about yourself and your career here at Iowa State, like your major and where you came from.
Sure. So I'm Henry Shires. I'm a sophomore in computer engineering. Let's see. I am obviously part of SciStarters, working with a team of 5 on a baseball analytics software as a service since 2020. Got the idea from our high school's coach. We brought it here. 2 of us go to Iowa State. 2 of us go to Iowa. One is going to be at Iowa State in the fall. And we're really taking advantage of the Papa John's Center's resources to help us grow our business, expand development, stuff like that.
So how did you get involved in this project? I mean, was it not an entrepreneurial endeavor initially? It was just, hey, let's do this because it needs to be done? Or did you, right from the beginning, think of this as a business opportunity, a career option?
I would say the former. We heard the idea from our computer science teacher, who heard it from the baseball coach, and we thought it was a cool project we could do. Get it done by their season in the summer, but realized that we could take it a lot further, and that if our school had this need, that potentially other schools had this need, and then that's when the venture took off.
Excellent. So that was in high school still, or was that when you were in college that you recognized this as a actual business opportunity, revenue generating?
We were all still in high school. It was my senior year. It was right after the season took place, after we had kind of a trial and error development test when they did their games, and I don't know, just the conversation took to, hey, maybe we could expand this somehow. So
great, excellent. So what you mentioned, obviously you're in SciStarters, that's where we're recording this, but what are some of the other Iowa State entrepreneurial or entrepreneurial-like activities that you've been engaged in? Kind of tell us a little bit about which ones maybe made the most impact or were helpful and how.
Sure. So right off the bat, our fall semester, we've heard about the Papa John's Center and all the events they had, so we started with the fall startup pitch competition, and we were lucky enough to place first, and that really inspired us to keep diving into what we're doing. So we set up a meeting with Megan, who's a program coordinator for a lot of things, and she mentioned SciStarters, and the second we heard getting paid to work on your business, we were in. So when applications came around in the spring, we jumped right on it, made sure we had a great application, did the round 2 pitches, and here we are. And then we hope to keep doing pitch competitions to gain donations for our company. And then we've also, since we've been in the research park, we've been overhearing conversations from the SciBiz lab students. And Purdue, especially my partner that's here at Iowa State with me, has kind of been intrigued in what they've been doing. So maybe exploring SciBiz at some point, we don't know. But yeah, mainly pitch competitions. So
I think also you were involved with OEI, correct?
Yes.
Maybe talk to us a little bit about that particular program and what you got out of that.
Yeah, so it was a weekend in June. A portion of SciStar students, as well as other state colleges of Iowa, got to go to Okoboji Entrepreneurial Institute, which is a program on the Iowa Lakes region, where a bunch of guest speakers from that area that have successful ventures come talk and empower students to continue working on their own ideas or to foster an idea if they don't necessarily have one. And there's a pitch competition. Also happened to place first in our category, which was really cool, and really I was very grateful for that experience and to gain something from that. And I just had a good time connecting with my peers on the lake, networking with plenty of people there, and being surrounded by a lot of support, even from like the host families. We stayed in families' homes up there during that weekend, and it was a great time to just connect. So when we started this venture, our primary focus was development. Create something and test it, build, design, test. The engineering process, not necessarily the business process. We didn't have a whole lot of background knowledge on customer discovery or marketing or sales or pricing, things that are the other 50% of the venture that you need to be successful and eventually have a revenue stream. And so SciStarters has positively exposed that we need to gain experience in that area. So about halfway through the program, we had to take a step back and pause, notice that we had a lot of progress in our MVP and development, but we realized we needed to refocus on the customer's needs and developing relationships with our customer base so that ultimately our product could be successful. So I've gained so much knowledge from that experience of having to pivot and then getting insights from professionals on the best ways to do customer discovery or the best ways to work on pricing, sales, marketing, legal stuff too. Just a lot of knowledge in one space over the summer has really opened a door to kind of change directions or think of our problem in a different way, and that's been really helpful for my experience personally, but also for our entire team.
Excellent. So you mentioned that this was an idea that you started in high school and brought to Iowa State. Obviously, you enrolled in engineering, I'm assuming right away as a freshman.
That's correct.
So what really got you interested in engineering? Was it specifically this project, or were there some other aspects of your background where engineering was where you were going to go?
Well, I typically say that the majority of my life I've been interested in computers or technology, IT in general, and also having a passion to just create something. And that's where the concept of engineering kind of really evoked my interest. So pretty much right as I started high school, looking into the college experience, I knew that engineering was my path, and particularly computer engineering just because of that, my interest in technology. So I knew that I wanted to focus on that area. And then it was kind of interesting too. I had like a subtle interest in some form of business, but the term entrepreneurship never really entered my vocabulary until we started this baseball analytics venture. But I knew that it was like some thing I wanted to do at some point. I just couldn't put my finger on what it was. So combining entrepreneurship and engineering has been really eye-opening and given me a lot of opportunity to explore that desire to create something, to solve a problem, but through me, not necessarily through a corporation or something like that.
What would you say to another one of your engineering peers about pursuing entrepreneurship as a career option, as opposed to just working at a company?
So a lot of the curriculum in engineering is definitely focused on getting you into the corporate world rather than your own world. And I feel that the best way to try to become your own boss is to observe problems that you run into on a daily basis or problems that your friends or family run into, and see if you can tinker with something to solve that or make it one step better. Something like that. Just do your best to get your foot in the door to opportunities that Iowa State gives you, or things that come across as a problem that could be solvable by something that you can create or dream up. Because you never know when that could become the thing you work on that gets you your paycheck. And it's not necessarily just about the paycheck. It's also about what you learn, what you experience, and how you can kind of better the world through your passion and what you're able to create.